So, God forbid that person gets sick. How are you going to be able to carry the household? Do you have a solution? Yay or nay? Hey, welcome to Prestigious Prep by Paris. I am Paris. Thank you so much for being here today. If you are a returning member of the Prep Squad, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of your support. It means the world to me. I am so happy that you are back here to spend more time with me. And if you are new here, over here at Prestigious Prep by Paris, we desire to excel in all areas of our lives, and that means we leave no area untouched. So, our hair, our skin, our career, our spirits, family, finances, everything is fair game. We are not a perfect people, but we are desiring to excel in all areas of our lives. And every day that God gives us another opportunity to get it right, we take another step in the right direction. So if you're interested in being a part of a family that is, likes to laugh a little bit, kiki a little bit, get serious, have a couple revelations, learn a few things, then you're in the right spot. So go ahead and subscribe. The button is down below. Please make sure you also click the bell and change your personalized settings to all so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so I'm sure you can tell by the title, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to call the video, but the conversation keeps coming up, and I just felt like, we should just talk about it. So one of the things that I have consistently been hearing for the last couple of weeks, just in conversation with people, just watching TV. I even saw it on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Other people on YouTube kind of just talked a little bit about just this in general. And I just thought I would say my piece. I also had a conversation with a few people, and one person in particular. I just, to each his own. However, basically, long story short, the conversation came up about being in relationship, or for example, being married or living with someone and them taking care of all of the bills, meaning you don't have any input, you don't really have any say so. They give you money and that's it. You personally don't have a source of income coming in, and so you are heavily, relying on that person. When it comes to paying bills, you don't know who you're paying the electric bill to. You don't know the account number. Even if you wanted to check and make sure you guys were caught up, or to see if there was anything outstanding for credit cards or any of that, you don't have any idea where to start. I saw, on the Housewives, I saw one of the housewives, Drew, whatever, she and her husband are supposed to be purchasing a new house, and he saw fit not to share any of that information with her as far as the financial piece and the application and going through that process. His comment was that she is to pack up the house and he is to take care of that piece. And for me, I can't. I don't understand that. So personally, when you buy a house, that is a major purchase, and let alone you're buying a house with your spouse or your mate or whoever, you should be a part of the process. You absolutely should know exactly, all the financial piece, what is the actual rate that you guys are getting, how much does the house cost, who are you financing through. Those are things that you guys should talk through together, not one person making that decision. And so for me, I just feel like, I don't know if the idea was to keep her in the dark so she doesn't ask questions. It very much came off as him and his house and and so she even said, she made some comments about that, and this is ours. And so he said, well, I'm gonna have to remove I from my vocabulary. You absolutely are. You are. when you're in a relationship, it's not it's a team, period. For me, also, like I mentioned, talking to someone else about it, and they mentioned they don't have any, like I said, any financial responsibility. I mean, they work, they do a little something, but they, when it comes to paying the bills, making sure they get paid, really carrying the household and being in sole control of the finances, it is their spouse. And for me, that's concerning. I think that when you are with someone, you guys, for example, you're married and you guys are living together, you should absolutely know what's going on. Although you might not be the person that actually makes sure the mortgage gets paid, or maybe you weren't the person to set that up, and maybe you handle the utilities. You guys have all of your money in one pot, and so you just make sure this set of bills get taken care of, and that person makes sure this set gets taken care of. Or maybe that person takes care of it, but both of you guys are contributing to the pot, and at least you know where it's going. You can see the transactions. You have access to these things. That's, for me, that's a no-brainer. And after the conversation, I realized that, God forbid, if something were to ever happen to that person's spouse, it would be really hard for them to be able to manage, because they have not had to carry the weight, essentially. And so for me, that would make me not be able to sleep at night. I mean, I know there are some people who are stay-at-home wives, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with being a stay-at-home wife, because there are a lot of responsibilities that come with that, and you know, it's not an easy task at all. But what I am saying is that I don't ever want you all to put yourself in a position where, if God forbid something happens to your spouse, you are not able to carry the load, meaning you don't know how to pay the bills, where the money goes, how much is supposed to be paid, and you also don't have a way to get money, meaning you don't have the skills under your belt, or the education under your belt, or the hustle, period, just under your belt, so that you could get out here and make it happen for you and your household if you needed to. That's super, super important. I also feel like that adds value to the relationship. So yeah, while I'm talking today, obviously I'm going to be taking my rollers out, or my pin curls out anyway. That kind of was, the plan. But I'm passionate about this, y'all. And so anyway, back to it. So for me, I just feel like anything can happen, and you're really just, although we don't know day to day what might occur and what we might encounter, we don't ever want to put ourselves in a situation where we can't hold it down for the team, basically. I mean, that person could get hurt. Your spouse could, they could decide they're gonna bounce, period. I mean, they could get sick. All kinds of things could happen. And I just feel like if you're not prepared for that, or you don't have a way to contribute, or you don't have a say-so, that lays the foundation for confusion later. Additional stress, confusion, all of the above. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but God, that's worrisome for me, to not be able to manage a household. I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with somebody taking care of you, and the household, especially if we're talking about, that's your husband. It is his job to provide, now I don't want to say necessarily be the sole provider, but I do feel like, because I feel like that's really a team effort. But I think if it all came down to it, only one person was able to work. Times have changed. I would be more comfortable with, I understand from a man's perspective, it would be really hard for a man to just relinquish, the ability to be able to put food on the table. So I don't ever wish that on anyone. And like me and, other women and other men, I take pride in being able to take care of my family, financially, in any other way that they might need. So for me, working is like, I got to, like, there have been times where, I was working for a company, and that company was actually going to be closing or transitioning because they were acquired by another company. And so we weren't exactly sure if we would be able to keep our jobs or our department. We didn't know if that was going to be phased out. We just didn't know. And so there was a transition period for us. Like, we got, a severance package and all of that. And so we had to figure out, what was going to be next. And so that was that. So I was off for a period of time. Actually a little bit, right? Probably before I actually got married. And it was fine because, again, we had savings. We were able to do that. My husband was able to carry the load. And I worked, PRN at a nursing temp agency, making really good money. And, we did what we had to do. Did I want to work at a temp agency and all these odd, it wasn't really a lot because I kind of stayed on site at several places, but, you know what I mean? Like, I knew it wasn't going to be long-term, although they did offer long-term opportunities, and I ended up turning them down because, again, I was just working that as a temporary solution for, waiting on something else to come through. So anyway, long story short, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but it makes me nervous to not be a contributing part of the relationship. It makes me uneasy. Not that I feel like, oh my God, he would not support or anything like that. No, that's not the case, but it's just, for me, the hustler in me is not happy with that, period. Plus, I saw my mom work all her life. Like, my mom has been grinding since grinding, and so it's weird for me to not want to do that. Now, listen, if you are in a situation where you can get the bag, if you need to get the bag, and you just choose, and maybe you just had a baby, or maybe you and your spouse have decided that right now it's best for you to just kind of chill out and be at home. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't do it. Here you go. I'm gonna spray my hair with this ISO Plus. Get your ISO Plus from TressesBeautySupply.com. Y'all already know. Shop with us today. The link's gonna be down below. In the box. It smells so good. It's super light. I love it. When I lay my baby hairs, I used, to lay them here, I used my ISO Plus Tea Tree Foaming wrap lotion. Get that from Tress's Beauty Supply as well. The link is down below. But anyway, like I said, I just feel like if anything happens, you won't really be able to assist. I also feel like the extra layer is if somebody has sole control over you, meaning they're managing all of the finances, and you just you're there, and it's almost like they're treating you like a kid. They give you, money and tell you how much you can spend, and so you're kind of getting an allowance. I don't like that. I feel like it sets the tone for people to feel like they have total control over you and be disrespectful to you, and not understand that you're a valuable team player here, and they should treat you like such. It just leaves room for that. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's just kind of my take on it. I just wanted to share my thoughts and see kind of what other people are thinking about the situation. I think, like I said in the last video, when you're in a relationship, it's a partnership. That's it. It's not a you and an I. It's what are we going to do? Period. And if that's not the situation, and people have or take issue with you feeling like that, then I'm telling you, it's time to do something different. And that's just that. So That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's talk about it in the comments. Like I said, to each his own. There's nothing wrong with, someone staying at home in the relationship and carrying, the household, taking care of those needs, and somebody going to work. If that works for you all, great. I just feel like even if that is the case, you want to have a backup plan just in case they get sick or something happens to them and you really have to step in or be tagged in to make sure that you can carry the household. You should be knowledgeable about everything that's going on, especially in the way of finances, y'all. Ask questions. If you don't understand, maybe that person is better with finances, cool, that might just be. But at least have an idea of what's happening. Don't be caught by surprise, y'all. That's all I'm saying. I hope if you got to the end of this video, you liked the video, you enjoyed the content. Please make sure that if you did enjoy the content, that you like, comment, and share with a friend. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. And as always, I pray that God is continuing to bless you and you are receiving all that he has in store for you. And until next time, bye.